What's up, nerds? So I just finished Penguin episode 6. And I want to just say I did like this episode, but a small piece of me just feels like the show is just it's just not paced. It's too slow of a pace that I wish that this show had been dropped all at once so I could binge it, because I just feel like for instance, this one, I don't know how far in the future from the last episode it takes place, but Penguin Oz, he's got his whole setup going, and I'm all like, he's got like a million plants, mushrooms in his little sewer hole, and I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, how long has it been? You could give us an update a little bit, maybe. It's fine in terms of like, I'm not mad about it, but at the same time, I'm just like, okay. And again, like I said before, I'm not looking at this as a DC show. I'm just looking at this as a mafia, like Sopranos light kind of show. You know what I'm saying? But I did like this episode. I am interested to see what happens next, especially with Sophia, because her and Maroni they are on the warpath, and they're just not going to stop. Obviously, Oz is gonna win because he's the Penguin. I mean, like, you can't. I mean, for him not to win, this whole thing would be like, what's the point of this show? Okay. I want to go over this episode, and I'll tell you my thoughts more at the end, and then during and everything. You know how it works. So let's get into this breakdown, and I'll meet you on the other side. All right, here we go. Okay, so Oz has managed to grow his entire empire significantly. He's producing and distributing the bliss in the underground trolley station that he has. And he successfully has evaded Sophia and Maroni this whole time. So his people are selling the bliss, right? And like I told you, he's grown all the plants underneath there in that shithole. And every time they get tailed by Sophia's the Gigante family, they disappear. Like later on they say like they disappeared, and it's because they go underground, and and Penguin says it in there, and I thought it was a good line. Like they're so far looking up that they can't look down, and I'm like, that's good. So I did think, I mean, I mean, obviously Penguin can't hold out this long underground without anybody noticing, but I do like his little strat. He's like Batman. Batman's got an underground subway tunnel. That's his bat cave. I'm like, okay, how many of these are we going to have? So yeah. However, they managed to kill several of the dealers as a warning, leading Oz to develop a new plan of giving away the bliss for free to gain the other gang's attention. So Sophia and Maroni, they're sitting around a table, and obviously Maroni's pissed because he's remembering his wife and his son, who are dead now. And Sophia, she's all like, we got to find who he loves and everything. So but she's like, we got to send a message. So they send the message. They kill 3 drug dealers, and they hang them up, and they cut off their pinkies. And then the other drug dealers, they get spooked, and they're like, we're not working with you. Like the triad who is going to distribute internationally, they're just like, we're out, dude. We're not going to go to war with the Maronis and the Gigantes. So I like the Falcone family better than the Gigantes, but whatever, it's fine. So then Oz, he decides he's just going to give the drugs away for free, because once you give them a little taste, then it's they're all like, what's going on? And the other gang members are all like, they're probably like, we're losing out on money here, fucker. But they all are still afraid of the Gigantes and the Maronis. They're like, we're not big enough to go up against them alone. So Victor is confronted by an old drug dealer that he was acquainted with named Squid, who attempts to convince him to let him join the operation. So we find out that Squid was the guy that sent him and those other teenagers to steal Penguin's rims from that first episode. Or second episode. Second episode. But Squid's all like, you should get me a meeting with Oz, because I went in on the ground floor. And so it's obviously a problem. And Vic tells Oz about it. And he's like, it's a problem. He's like, is it going to be a problem? He's like, no, I'll take care of it. So Sophia and Sal, they end up breaking into Oz's apartment to find something to get back at him. And Sophia discovers a photo of Eve. So when they're going through his apartment, they find the picture of his two brothers, and Sophia's like, those are his brothers. They died young, which I'm all like, I'm curious as to how they died now because I don't understand it, but it's fine. And then she says that he doesn't have, his mother died and he doesn't know where his dad is or whatnot. And Maroney's getting upset because he's like, he took everything away from me and he has nothing. So he can't take anything from him. And I'm all like, hey, that's how it works sometimes. But then Sophia goes into his bedroom and she finds a drawer dedicated just to Eve. Like Eve goes and that's her drawer at his apartment. And she's like, oh, got him, fuckers, and everything. So meanwhile, while all this is going down, Francis's condition has deteriorated even more. So she forces Oz to promise to kill her if her mind dies before her body. So this entire time, Francis, Oz's mom, she's obviously, the dementia is setting in hardcore. And she's just like, promise me you'll take me out before, don't let my mind go before my body does. And he agrees to it, which I have to be honest with you, I don't know if I could agree to that. Like, I mean, maybe I could, just because, like, when you watch a family member suffer, it's really hard. You know how it is. I mean, maybe you don't know how it is, but it's really hard to watch a family member suffer. And then they ask you that's what they want. And you're just like, oh man, I don't know. Cause I don't know if I want to be honest. I would want to stop their suffering, but I don't know if I could do it. Because I'm not that person, I'm not, but at the same time, I don't know. It just depends on the situation. So he agrees to it. Oz threatens a corrupt councilman to return the power back on to Crown Point before setting up a meeting with the other gangs in the city. Now, I thought this part where he goes and meets up with the councilman, I thought this part was crazy because he's the guy that he sent the thing to him, the envelope in like episode 1 or 2, and said like, let's be friends, and it was like his gang, his betting numbers or whatnot, and how he owed money and shit, and he was paying off the money with city funds. But he grabs right here his septum on his nose with needle nose pliers. I was like, ah shit. And he's like, and I was like, that looks like it hurts. He's like, you're gonna turn the power back on to Crown Royal or Crown Point by tomorrow, or you're going to get another little visit. And he's like, there's so much red tape. He's like, you're going to do it. And he does. So Victor attempts to pay off Squid, but when Squid threatens to expose them unless he sets up a meeting with Oz, Victor shoots him and then runs away. So he tries to give him a load of cash, and he's like, oh, this money's flying out of my hands real quick. He's like, you're going to set up a meeting, or I'm going to tell him how you guys go underground. And Victor's like, oh, okay, that's how, yeah, bang, bang, in the face, motherfucker. But he actually hits him in the neck and he bleeds out and everything. He's like, I'm sorry. And obviously Victor was not ready to kill somebody because he's very depressed about it afterwards. And he doesn't do what Oz told him to get rid of the clothing, and he didn't get rid of his shoes. I'm like, you idiot. So he shoots him, and then that's how he took care of it. I was like, well, hey, listen, when you told Oz you'd take care of it and you took care of it, it's no longer a problem. You weren't lying. So there's that. So Sophia, she visits Eve, right? And initially she threatens to kill her to get to Oz. But after Sophia reveals she isn't the hangman and that Oz was aware of who the true killer was, Eve gives up his location. So Eve tells one of her girls to tell Sophia where she's at. And Sophia goes and she's all like, I told my girl to send you here, easy money. And she's all like, me and Oz didn't have that relationship. And you're going to kill me if I tell you, but I don't know anything. So you might as well get on with it. And she's like, but just do me one thing. Promise me you won't hurt my girls. And she's all like, and she named some of the victims from that she thought she had killed from before. And she's all like, you think I killed those girls? And she's all like, didn't you? She's like, no, my father killed those girls along with my mother and then sent me away and everything. And she's all like, and she says something like, you would protect these girls. And she's like, these are my family. She's like, I got their back and they got my back. And then she says, she's all like, well, I didn't kill those women. My father killed them. And Oz knew about it. And he helped cover it up and everything. And so then that's when Eve is all like, he's in Crown Royal or, Royal Oaks or some shit like that. I can't remember the name. Crown Point is the name of it. There we go. And so now Sophia knows where he's at. So Oz meets up with the gang leaders to offer a truce against the Gigantes and the Maronis and the upper elite. And while they initially dismiss him due to his backstabbing nature, Oz opens up about his personal code and eventually convinces them all to join him. So I liked this part in terms of like he handed out beer. It looked like a cheap beer, but whatever, it's fine. And he tells them, the guy that leads the triad, he's all like, "Why would we trust you? You backstab everybody, you lie and backstab everybody you come in contact with." And he's like, and he tells him how he killed the Falcone kid. I don't remember his name. And and it seems like, I mean, I'm not quite sure. I still wouldn't trust Oz, but they all end up opening their beers to signify they're with him because he tells them, they all look down on us like we're nothing and we're just street bums. He's like, maybe by ourselves, we can't do this, but together we are a force to be reckoned with. And I thought that part was good because, it shows, he's like, yo, I need you. And I got this moneymaker, you need me kind of thing. And I was like, okay, that's good. That's good. So the power returns to Crown Point as Victor and Francis dance to music, just as Sophia enters the apartment with a crowbar. So that's the end of the episode. So Sophia, she comes in, she's got a crowbar, and she's just watching Francis and Victor dance. And Francis is like an idiot. It's all like, "That's my boy, Oswald." And she's dancing and stuff. By the way, terrible dancer. And Victor's all, dancing with her or whatever. And he's like, "Oz, turn the power back, got the power back on," and everything. And again, I like the chick that plays Sophia. She does a really good job. I mean, Colin Farrell does a good job too, but the chick that plays Sophia, I think she does an excellent job. I hate her haircut though. It's that new haircut, I think, that like people do now where they shave the sides of their head and they got like kind of like a mullet going on. The mullet is not cool ever. So, this episode was good. I just don't know. It's like it's slow in my opinion. That just like the pacing is just like almost like I'm not bored when I don't know how to I'm not bored, but at the same time I'm like, can we hurry this motherfucker up? I don't want to get on my phone right now, but you guys are tempting me real fucking quick because I'm all like, oh my gosh, this is such a slog. That's why I wish they had dropped this all at once so I could just watch it back to back and just be done with it. But or maybe, go at my own pace because I'm like week to week, it's a slow run. And then like, it's just like the episodes are pretty slow paced as is. But again, I do like this show. It's good writing. The characters are really well written and the development is getting really good. And it's just not a DC show, like it says DC on this poster, but I'm like, I'm not feeling that. So yeah. But tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? Who's your favorite character? What do you think's gonna? Do you think Oswald's gonna win in the end, or is it just gonna like leave it, whatever, in limbo by the end? But tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my Penguin breakdown review. You guys have a good week. Bye.